I remember Pharrell, one of the first times I had worked with him, he was like telling me how he had his life on a schedule. He came to the studio for certain hours. He was like, I only come to the studio from this time to this time, and I don't take home with me. I was probably 24, 25 when he said that, and I remember feeling like, damn, that's weird, because I'd be in the studio all day. Like, if I stayed in the studio anything less than 12 hours before I had kids, it was a failure of a day. About 2 years into being a father, I remember like, oh, you need a schedule where your family knows that this is your time in the studio and this is the time when I'm at home on family mode. It's something that I needed to do because I'm not gonna shortcut on the family side. So I put the studio in the house for that reason. It's like, I love being able to work knowing my family is right upstairs.
I'm not heartbroken at this point in my life. I feel grateful every day. I wake up, I look around, look at my kids, they healthy. Me and my daughter talk, like, told her to get in the car the other day because she was asking 1,000 questions and we had to leave for school. And I got in the car and then, like, I'm faced this way. I'm just painting a picture of how healthy my children are at this present time. So we drive it and then I just hear a little voice, Dad. I turn around and say, I didn't like when you told me to get in the car the way you told me. He's 6. It hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? That's the most beautiful thing you've ever said to me.
I had a mixtape called A Warm Up. At that time, I was trying to get a deal. I felt like I was this close to getting a deal with somebody just because my music was good and I had like a little bit of connections to the industry, but I had just graduated college. I was broke. I was like struggling to pay my rent. I ain't had no job. And I was kind of being complacent because I had crazy music and I was kind of chilling, like as if that was good enough to get me to where I needed to go. And I had a realization. One time I'm in a party, I'm drunk and I'm high, so I had to leave the party and go to the backyard. So I'm back there paranoid, like, oh my God, like life is on me. All my college friends went and got jobs. I'm over here doing some rap shit. And these walk in the backyard, come find me. Like, yo, we want to holler right quick. Bro, it turned into an intervention. These was like, hey bro, what you doing? You say you want to do this music, but like all you doing is really just like hanging out, partying. Mind you, one part of me is like, the f are you talking about? But when they was talking, bro, I swear to God, I sobered up quickly. It was almost like I was on the stage. Literally, after that, I thought about basketball. Why I ain't making it basketball? Nigga, I love to play. And at this point, I'm 21 years old, you know what I mean, 22. And I'm like, why you didn't make it in basketball? Because you wasn't working. You thought you'd be outside dribbling the ball, doing something, when really was in the gym with trainers, like putting in work, shooting 1,000 shots a day. And your dumb ass over there thinking you doing something, mimicking Iverson. So it was like, yo, do you really want to look back 10, 20 years from now with this music and be like, the reason you didn't make it in music because you ain't put in the work? So I was like, f it. Every day, nigga, I woke up, wrote verses, made beats. So all that to say, the off season was like the same concept. Like, one more time before I leave, like fulfilled in this game, let me try to reach new heights from a skill level standpoint. Remember I told you about the 7-minute drill? Like, I put myself through drills. I really try to work on my craft to like just reach new heights and push myself. So that's why I call it the off season. I know that was a long answer, but
Yeah.
now that I'm back on it, I realized that some of the same stuff that I didn't like about it before, not because of other people, but because of myself. Things that I see and make me feel a certain type of way, boom, boom. I noticed that like the break didn't do anything.
It's still there.
It's still there. So I realized that, you know, there's things that I beat in my life, like things that I had to like overcome just to like be a better person for myself. Like, yo, I don't like the fact that I'm doing this. Let me stop doing it. But guess what? It's not just as easy as like, oh, let me stop. No, it's hard. You know what I mean? And those things I attack head on, like putting myself in situations where it's like, let's say drinking, right? I just stop drinking. It's not that I won't drink. Like if it's your birthday, I do it. It's not like, no, I just don't drink. But I noticed I was at a point in my life where it's like, I felt like I had to. Like whenever I was going out, it was just natural. Oh, just get a drink. Get a drink. We on tour every day. Let's get a drink. Which seemed inconsequential to me, right? But then I started to notice around the time I was like, yo, what am I doing this for? Like, why am I doing this? And then tracing back all the things in my life, that where did it start, where my childhood, where did it come from? And I was like, let me stop doing it.
I really learned that, you know, kids do not forget, you know what I'm saying? And how they look at you when you're young. They'll never forget that. Like, it'll take 30 years later, they will never forget it. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to be real careful. I remember the driver was driving me to my nephew's graduation, and I was really tired. I think I came from shooting a video in LA somewhere. I came back to New York. I flew from LA to come to New York to go to his graduation, to fly back out to do a date. I was gonna do a rehearsal, fly back in for my other nephew's graduation, then fly back out to do the show that night.
That's crazy.
So I flies in, I'm exhausted. I ask the guy, I asked the guy, like, you know where you're going, right? And he's like, yeah. So I go sleep. I wake up, I'm never seen where I'm at. I'm like, where you going? You know what I'm saying? Like, where's you going? He's like, he's talking back, like crazy, like. So now I'm really upset. I'm upset to the point where I could feel myself like my eyes could have welled up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, like, why am I so upset? And because I remember that if I didn't make this guy's graduation and I was trying, he still wouldn't forget it. He didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta say, yo, I was trying, I had to ride here, but he's still gonna remember that I ain't make his graduation.
Really, the only thing I consistently do is, like, I do my breathing. Like, I try to do like a meditation. I do it when I get a little anxiety, you know what I mean? Or a lot of anxiety, when there's like a stressful situation. That's what I don't like about myself, is like, I want to become disciplined to where it is a part of my life every day. When things are like good or things are like a little stressful. So like, I haven't done an interview in mad long. So like, before I come up here, I'm feeling like, I'm excited, but it's also like, oh, it's a little nerves. Like, it would feel like before I go on a big show or something. I basically state my intentions and like ask for like guidance. Like, yo, I know these words, these people paid hard-earned money to come to this show. Let me nail everything. Let me try things I haven't done before. That's a prayer. Like, I'm asking for like guidance and like help in that area. The meditation for me is more like being present. I'm not trying to think anything. I'm not praying about anything. I'm just still observing. So if my mind is racing, and it might be nerves, or it might be there's a bill due, or it might be this is happening in the family, I'm noticing it, and I'm trying to let it go, but also not fight it. Bring my attention back to like my breathing, something that's currently happening. The sound of that fan. I just listen and try to like focus on that. And what you'll notice is like my mind will start going to something else. And I'll start thinking about that. And I might go on a 30-second trip on that thought. And then I catch it like, oh, look what just happened. It's fine. Let me bring my attention back to that fan. My only stresses I notice come from, it's a deeper conversation about purpose. So it's like, I just got done doing this album where every day I have purpose. You know, beyond like clearly my obvious purposes as a father, as a husband. I got purpose on a more selfish level, right? But I feel like I've created a life where my purpose is too much placed in music. Where like I put too much of my purpose in music to where when I'm home and I come home, outside of like playing with my son, if I go 3 days without doing music, making a beat, writing a song, I start to feel like miserable. And I feel like it's because I haven't found purpose or placed purpose in other things. I don't care if it's taking out the garbage. There's certain things that people excuse you from doing when you're chasing something, or like you have a career like this. Where it's like, you know, I got people that handle my business, my affairs. With Kevin Hart, when we were shooting the video, this dude is approving all his invoices, looking over all his checks, breaking down the budgets to me, and it's just like, in that one act, there's so much purpose. He's decided that this is important to me because it's feeding my family. I remember a time when I couldn't get these checks, so I want to make sure that every dollar that I'm owed is coming to me. I'm assuming, I'm just putting words in my mouth. But regardless, there's purpose behind that act, right?